My brothers and sisters, life is filled with challenges, difficulties, and moments of struggle. And it is important to understand that these hardships are not punishments, but rather tests from Allah. Every person, no matter how righteous or sincere, will face trials in some form, whether they are personal, financial, emotional, or spiritual. These moments of difficulty are meant to develop our patience, strengthen our faith, and help us grow into better versions of ourselves. Hardship provides an opportunity to learn important life lessons, to reflect on our actions, and to turn back to Allah in complete sincerity. It is during these times that our character is shaped, our resilience is tested, and our trust in Allah's wisdom is solidified. Life's challenges are not random. They are part of a divine plan designed for our ultimate benefit, even if we do not immediately recognize it. The discomfort we feel during trials often leads to greater awareness, self-discipline, and a deeper connection with Allah. Through hardship, we learn that true strength is not measured by the absence of difficulty, but by how we respond to it with patience, trust, and perseverance.
Many people see hardship as a negative force, something that should be avoided at all costs. They wish for life to be smooth and free of obstacles. However, without trials, there would be little growth, and our reliance on Allah would be diminished. Hardship teaches us to turn to Him sincerely, to acknowledge our limitations, and to seek guidance and support from the one who has the power to change all circumstances. Each trial carries a hidden purpose, and enduring it with patience allows us to experience spiritual elevation, wisdom, and the eventual ease that Allah promises. It is through facing challenges with a heart full of faith that we develop qualities such as empathy, humility, and perseverance, which are invaluable in both worldly and spiritual life.
When we encounter hardship, it is easy to feel overwhelmed and consumed by worry or despair. Our minds may focus on the difficulty itself, forgetting that there is a higher purpose at work. Yet every challenge is an opportunity for growth and a chance to strengthen our relationship with Allah. By understanding that hardship is a test, we begin to shift our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we can ask, "What lesson can I learn from this?" Or "How can I turn this challenge into an opportunity to draw closer to Allah?" This change in mindset transforms the experience of difficulty into a source of empowerment rather than defeat.
Moreover, patience is central to navigating hardship. Patience is not simply waiting for problems to disappear. It is enduring difficulties with composure, trusting in Allah's plan, and remaining steadfast in faith despite the circumstances. Every trial that we endure patiently becomes a means of purification for our soul, cleansing us of weaknesses and preparing us for future blessings. By accepting that hardship is a natural part of life, we allow ourselves to focus on constructive responses rather than futile complaints. This attitude opens the heart to hope, gratitude, and trust in Allah's wisdom.
In conclusion, hardship should not be feared or resented. It is a test, a tool for growth, and an opportunity to strengthen our faith and reliance upon Allah. By understanding the divine purpose behind challenges and embracing them with patience and trust, we prepare ourselves for the ease and blessings that Allah will eventually bestow. Hardship shapes our character, teaches valuable lessons, and creates space for spiritual development. Through patience, perseverance, and reliance on Allah, we can navigate life's trials with hope, knowing that every difficulty carries the promise of eventual ease and relief.
One of the most profound truths in life is that ease always follows hardship, a promise that Allah has made to those who remain patient and steadfast in faith. Every difficulty, no matter how overwhelming it may seem, is temporary, and relief is always on the horizon. Understanding this truth is essential for maintaining hope and resilience during life's trials. It is easy to become discouraged when facing challenges, but knowing that hardship is not permanent allows us to endure with a sense of calm and trust. Life is a series of cycles, and just as there are moments of struggle, there are also moments of ease and relief that come in Allah's perfect timing. The human mind often desires immediate solutions, yet Allah's wisdom may delay relief to strengthen our character, teach us patience, or prepare us for something greater than we can imagine. This understanding fosters a deep sense of trust and reliance on Allah, reminding us that no hardship lasts forever.
It is important to recognize that the relief or ease that follows hardship may manifest in ways we do not expect. Sometimes the challenges we face are removed completely, allowing life to return to normal. Other times, ease comes through subtle changes in perspective, inner peace or spiritual growth that transform the way we perceive our circumstances. What may initially feel like an insurmountable obstacle can become an opportunity for learning, growth, and eventual success. The key is to remain patient, to trust Allah's plan, and to stay steadfast in faith, knowing that relief will arrive at the right moment. By maintaining this mindset, we prevent despair from taking hold and instead embrace hope as an active force in our lives. Patience during hardship is not passive. It requires conscious effort, endurance, and a willingness to rely on Allah for support. Those who exercise patience are actively participating in their own growth and preparing their hearts to receive the ease that is promised. Patience allows us to maintain composure, think clearly, and respond to difficulties constructively. It transforms suffering into a tool for personal development, teaching us resilience, empathy, and humility. Every trial faced with patience strengthens the soul and builds a foundation for the blessings that are to come. By understanding that ease follows hardship, we approach life's difficulties with a sense of purpose rather than fear, seeing each challenge as part of a divine plan designed for our benefit. Trust in Allah is central to experiencing the ease that follows hardship. Faith allows us to accept that what may seem unbearable today can lead to unimaginable blessings tomorrow. Trusting in Allah's wisdom and timing helps us endure difficulties without losing hope. This trust is strengthened through prayer, reflection, and remembrance of Allah's promises. By surrendering our worries and fears to Him, we create space for His intervention and guidance. Even when the outcome is uncertain, faith reassures us that Allah's plan is perfect and that the relief we seek will arrive according to His wisdom. Another aspect to consider is that ease is not always the immediate removal of the hardship itself. Sometimes it is the internal peace and strength we gain. While enduring the challenge, our hearts become stronger, our understanding deeper, and our connection with Allah more profound. The lessons learned and the spiritual growth achieved during difficult times are forms of ease in their own right, preparing us for the future with wisdom and resilience. In conclusion, the promise that ease follows hardship is a source of immense hope and comfort. By remaining patient, trusting in Allah's plan, and embracing challenges with faith, we align ourselves with this divine promise. Relief may come in ways we do not anticipate, but it will come at the perfect time. Understanding that no difficulty lasts forever allows us to endure life's trials with hope, resilience, and a steadfast heart, confident that Allah's mercy and wisdom will transform our hardship into ease. Turning to Allah through prayer and cultivating a sense of gratitude are essential tools for navigating life's hardships and preparing the heart to receive ease. When difficulties arise, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or even hopeless. Yet, in these very moments, turning to Allah with sincerity brings profound comfort and clarity. Prayer is more than a ritual. It is a direct line of communication with the one who holds all power and wisdom. By expressing our struggles, fears, and hopes to Allah, we acknowledge our dependence on Him and reaffirm our trust in His plan. This act of submission lightens the emotional burden, calms the mind, and strengthens our resilience. It allows us to find solace in the knowledge that we are not alone, that the Creator of the universe is aware of our circumstances, and that His mercy is limitless. Sincere supplication opens the heart to divine guidance and support, creating a spiritual space in which hope can flourish even amidst trials. Equally important is the practice of gratitude. Even during times of hardship, gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to the blessings that remain. It encourages us to see beyond the immediate challenges and recognize the countless ways in which Allah has provided for us. Gratitude is transformative because it nurtures contentment, strengthens patience, and fosters a positive mindset. When we consciously acknowledge the blessings in our lives, no matter how small, our perspective changes and the weight of hardship becomes more manageable. This does not diminish the difficulty we face, but helps us to approach it with a balanced heart and a spirit anchored in faith. Gratitude is an act of trust in Allah's wisdom, a recognition that even in hardship, there is good to be found, lessons to be learned, and opportunities for growth. Prayer and gratitude work hand in hand. Prayer allows us to express our needs and seek divine assistance, while gratitude helps us appreciate what we already have and maintain hope that relief will come. Together, they create a powerful cycle of spiritual support, fostering resilience and inner peace. By turning to Allah in prayer, We acknowledge our limitations. By practicing gratitude, we affirm our trust in His mercy. This dual approach transforms the experience of hardship from a source of despair into a vehicle for spiritual and emotional growth. It also prepares our hearts to receive the ease that Allah promises, making us more receptive to the blessings and solutions that may arrive unexpectedly. In addition, prayer and gratitude remind us that hardships are not permanent. Life's trials may feel heavy, but when we consistently turn to Allah, we are reminded of His constant presence and His ability to change circumstances. This awareness brings hope and reinforces the belief that ease will follow. Gratitude for even the smallest signs of relief or progress strengthens our faith, while sincere prayer cultivates patience and reliance on Allah's timing. Together they reinforce the understanding that every challenge carries the potential for transformation and that no hardship is beyond Allah's ability to ease. Ultimately, turning to Allah in prayer and practicing gratitude are not just coping mechanisms, they are expressions of faith, trust, and submission. They allow us to navigate difficulties with a calm and hopeful heart, strengthen our connection with Allah, and prepare us to receive His mercy and relief. Through prayer, we ask for guidance, protection, and the alleviation of our burden. Through gratitude, we acknowledge the blessings already present in our lives, cultivating a mindset of hope and resilience. By combining these practices, we align ourselves with the divine promise that hardship is always followed by ease and that Allah's mercy is boundless. Hardships often carry hidden wisdom that is not immediately apparent to us. When we encounter challenges, it is easy to feel frustrated, confused, or even resentful, wondering why certain difficulties have been placed in our path. Yet every trial in life has a purpose, a deeper meaning that may only become clear with time and reflection. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, uses hardships to guide us, protect us, and help us grow in ways that we might not initially understand. Sometimes difficulties steer us away from paths that may have been harmful. Other times they prepare us for future opportunities that we could not have envisioned. The purpose of hardship is not to cause unnecessary suffering, but to serve as a tool for our spiritual, emotional, and moral development. Recognizing this allows us to face challenges with patience, hope, and a willingness to learn, rather than with despair or resistance. When we look back on our lives, we often realize that the most challenging periods were also the ones that taught us the most valuable lessons. Trials can strengthen our character, instill resilience, and deepen our empathy for others who are suffering. Through hardships, we learn to value patience, perseverance, and reliance on Allah, as well as the importance of humility and gratitude. Many difficulties have a transformative effect, molding our perspective and priorities, shaping us into better individuals, and enhancing our connection with Allah. Understanding that hardship often carries hidden blessings allows us to view struggles not as meaningless suffering, but as opportunities for growth and preparation for the future. Hardship can also serve as a means of protection. There are moments in life when what we perceive as a setback or loss may actually be a safeguard against something more harmful. Allah's knowledge surpasses our understanding, and His wisdom ensures that even the trials we face are part of a greater plan. What may appear as a negative circumstance could be redirecting us toward a path of benefit, growth, and ultimate ease. When we trust that every difficulty has a purpose, we can approach life with greater patience and resilience, confident that Allah is guiding us even when we cannot see the full picture. Furthermore, the lessons we gain from hardship often provide enduring benefits. Challenges teach us problem-solving skills, emotional regulation, and the ability to adapt in times of uncertainty. They foster spiritual growth, self-awareness, and reliance upon Allah. The experience of overcoming difficulties equips us with the strength and wisdom needed for future challenges, making life's journey more manageable and meaningful. Ease, therefore, is not merely the removal of difficulty. It often includes the growth, maturity, and inner peace that emerge from navigating challenges successfully. Reflection on hardship is also essential. By contemplating the purpose and lessons within our struggles, we develop gratitude for the guidance and growth that challenges provide. This reflection transforms suffering into a source of understanding, resilience, and faith. It allows us to see that every trial has been carefully placed to shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate individuals. Hardship is not the end. It is a stage in the journey that leads toward ease, growth, and spiritual elevation. In conclusion, every challenge carries hidden wisdom and purpose. Even if we cannot see it immediately, hardships guide us, protect us, and foster growth in ways that we may only recognize later. They teach patience, resilience, empathy, and reliance on Allah, shaping our character and preparing us for the blessings that follow. By reflecting on the lessons within difficulty, trusting Allah's wisdom, and embracing challenges with patience and faith, we can transform trials into opportunities for growth. This understanding allows us to navigate life's hardships with hope and confidence, knowing that ease and relief are always part of Allah's perfect plan. Faith plays a central role in navigating hardship and preparing the heart to receive ease. When we encounter difficulties, it is natural to feel overwhelmed or anxious, but a strong foundation of faith provides the strength and resilience needed to endure trials with patience and hope. Belief in Allah's awareness of our struggles, His closeness to those who call upon Him, and His limitless power to transform circumstances instills confidence and reassurance. Faith allows us to see beyond the immediate pain and understand that hardships are temporary, that they carry lessons and opportunities, and that relief is always within Allah's control. It is through this unwavering trust that we find the courage to persevere, knowing that ease will follow hardship according to Allah's perfect timing. Having faith means recognizing that our understanding of the world is limited, while Allah's knowledge encompasses everything. We may not immediately see the purpose behind certain difficulties, but faith assures us that there is divine wisdom in every trial. What seems unbearable today may be a stepping stone toward growth, spiritual elevation, or a future blessing. Faith transforms our perspective, enabling us to approach challenges not with despair but with trust and hope. It is the lens through which we interpret hardship, giving meaning to struggle and confidence that ease will eventually arrive. Without faith, hardship can seem arbitrary and overwhelming, but with faith, every trial becomes a meaningful part of life's journey. Faith is strengthened through consistent remembrance of Allah, prayer, and reflection. When we turn to Allah during difficult times, expressing our needs, hopes, and fears, our hearts find solace and reassurance. Prayer nurtures patience and reinforces our reliance on Allah, reminding us that we are never alone in our struggles. Reflection on past challenges also strengthens faith, as we often realize in hindsight how difficulties were transformed into lessons, growth, or blessings. Each experience of overcoming hardship with reliance on Allah deepens trust in His wisdom and increases confidence in His ability to replace hardship with ease. Furthermore, faith encourages proactive patience and resilience. It does not mean passively waiting for problems to disappear, but actively trusting Allah while taking steps to improve our circumstances when possible. A faithful heart endures trials with composure, adapts to challenges, and maintains hope in the face of uncertainty. This combination of trust, patience, and action aligns with the divine principle that every difficulty is paired with ease. Faith instills a sense of balance, enabling us to navigate life with both humility and courage, knowing that Allah's guidance is ever present. Faith also provides emotional and spiritual stability during prolonged or severe hardships. Challenges can test our limits and make us feel vulnerable, yet faith offers an anchor, reminding us of Allah's mercy, knowledge, and power. It allows us to maintain optimism and perseverance, even when solutions seem distant or problems appear insurmountable. By placing trust in Allah, we shift our focus from the overwhelming nature of the hardship to the certainty of His promise that ease will follow difficulty. This mindset reduces fear, anxiety, and despair, replacing them with hope, patience, and resilience. In conclusion, faith is the foundation upon which patience, resilience, and hope are built. It allows us to endure life's hardships with trust in Allah's wisdom, recognizing that no difficulty lasts forever, and that relief is always within His power. By nurturing faith through prayer, reflection, and reliance on Allah, we strengthen our hearts to face challenges, embrace growth, and receive the ease that follows. Faith transforms trials into opportunities for spiritual, emotional, and personal development, empowering us to navigate life with confidence, hope, and unwavering trust in Allah's mercy and plan. Surrendering to Allah's wisdom is the final and perhaps most powerful step in experiencing the replacement of hardship with ease. Surrender does not mean giving up or resigning ourselves to passivity. Rather, it is an active, conscious acknowledgement that we cannot control every aspect of our lives, but Allah can. It is the recognition that His knowledge is perfect, His timing is flawless, and His power is limitless. When we surrender our worries, fears, and need for control to Allah, we allow His mercy and guidance to enter our lives, creating the conditions for ease to manifest. Surrender is an act of trust, patience, and humility, and it is through this complete reliance on Allah that hardships can be transformed into blessings in ways that we might not imagine. Life often presents circumstances that seem chaotic or unfair. You may struggle to understand why certain difficulties occur, why certain people face suffering, or why our prayers appear unanswered. In these moments, surrendering to Allah's wisdom means accepting that our perspective is limited and that there is a greater plan beyond our comprehension. This acceptance does not negate effort or action. Instead, it aligns our actions with divine guidance. When we act with sincerity, integrity, and faith, while leaving the results in Allah's hands, we open the door for His intervention. Surrender allows us to let go of frustration, anxiety, and despair, creating a heart that is calm, patient, and receptive to the ease that Allah promises. Surrendering also involves trusting the timing of Allah. Often we desire immediate solutions, quick relief, or instant justice, but Allah's timing is perfect. He knows what we need when we need it, and in what form it will benefit us most. The delay of relief is not a denial of mercy, but a preparation for something greater. By surrendering to this divine timing, we cultivate patience and resilience, understanding that even when the hardship seems prolonged, ease is on the horizon. This trust transforms anxiety into hope, fear into courage, and helplessness into reliance on a power far greater than our own. Moreover, the surrender helps us maintain inner peace amidst external turmoil. Life's challenges often create stress, doubt, and emotional unrest. By surrendering to Allah's wisdom, we shift the focus from our inability to control circumstances to our ability to trust in His plan. This shift allows us to navigate difficulties with clarity, composure, and strength. Surrender nurtures gratitude for what we have, patience for what we endure, and optimism for what is to come. It creates a mindset in which hardship is not feared or resented, but embraced as part of the divine plan that ultimately leads to ease, growth, and spiritual elevation. Surrendering also deepens our connection with Allah. When we release our need to control outcomes and place our trust entirely in Him, our hearts become more aligned with His guidance. This alignment fosters spiritual strength, emotional resilience, and a sense of comfort that no worldly solution can provide. Hardships, when met with surrender, become opportunities to draw closer to Allah, develop trust in His mercy, and experience His intervention in ways that surpass our expectations. Ease is not merely the absence of difficulty, it is the peace, guidance, and blessings that flow from complete reliance on Allah. In conclusion, surrendering to Allah's wisdom is a powerful practice that transforms hardship into a pathway for ease. It involves trust, patience, humility, and the release of control, creating a heart that is receptive to divine mercy and intervention. By surrendering to Allah, we recognize that He knows best, acts in perfect timing, and holds the power to replace difficulty with relief in ways beyond our imagination. Through surrender, hardships become opportunities for growth, resilience, and spiritual elevation. And ease becomes not just a promise, but a lived reality. Trusting Allah completely allows us to face life's trials with hope, confidence, and unwavering faith in His perfect plan.